Welcome to the Road Beyond podcast, where we explore the fringes of reality and the reality that's on the fringes. Broadcasting to you today from the Houston City College television studios. I'm Todd Duplantis. You already know that, but also my co-host, Doug O'Brien from Houston's Eagle.
Make sure you like, follow, and share this video and others. We are on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, and you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You also do some stuff.
I do, yeah. You can also follow me on X at Todd Duplantis 65. You know, you like the new digs we got?
I do.
We've done a freshen up of our studio, if you haven't noticed. You might want to take a look here.
It's one of those things like when you come home and your wife has rearranged the furniture, so it's going to take a little getting used to. I'm
by the way,
banging my knees a few times, but
You remember when you gave me your credit card? We went to the game a few weeks ago. I used it to buy this table.
Well,
so
you must have gotten it pretty cheap with my credit. So. Todd, we've talked about this before. 3I Atlas is back in the news, our favorite interstellar traveler. You've heard us talk about it. The third object confirmed from outside our solar system. We had Oumuamua. We also had Borisov. And now this story just gets wilder.
Look at this picture. This is incredible. Yeah, telescope shots, new science results, and now warnings from Harvard's Avi Loeb, and Congresswoman Ana Paula Luna, that NASA should be watching this thing very closely because it just might release mini probes. That's right. I'll say it again. Mini probes as it zips by the sun on Halloween Eve.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. Just a few mini probes. Remember, I told you this. I said I thought that all the sightings we've had could be probes. So this is supporting my theory.
It could be.
Now, a quick refresher. 3I Atlas is about the size of Manhattan, so it's big, right? It was spotted this summer and is moving at over 130,000 miles per hour. It'll be closest to the sun on October 30th and then closest to the Earth in December. It's still 167 million miles away, so no collision risk.
Now, the Gemini South Telescope in Chile snapped images at the end of August showing its tail growing. Yeah, okay.
So many jokes could be had.
I don't even want to go there, but you can expect that from a comet heating up. So it heats up and its tail grows, folks. Follow me on this. Now, the James Webb Space Telescope also found something odd. It's venting mostly carbon dioxide with way less water than normal, about an 8-to-1 ratio. That makes it one of the most CO₂ richest comets ever observed.
So check this out. Normally, comets get active right around Jupiter's orbit, right? This one started venting gas even earlier, so astronomers like Jacqueline McCleary say that it makes 3I Atlas a messenger from afar. Interesting choice of words.
Messenger from afar. Now, there's also a strange polarization, basically the way light scatters off the disk. It doesn't look like what we usually see from comets. Some teams are calling it unprecedented. That's why scientists say this isn't just another dirty snowball. It's something else.
Now we enter one of our favorite guys we've talked about, Avi Loeb, right? He's the Harvard astrophysicist who stirred up the debate over Oumuamua. Now, Loeb notes that 3I Atlas may be even growing and glowing green now, a sign of cyanide gas being released.
He says the big unknown is the size of the solid core, could be 30 miles across, could be closer to 3 miles. Loeb has pushed NASA to use Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to take a look at the thing when it passes by Juno at Jupiter to try to snap closer pictures. Now, get this though.
The bombshell. On the Soul Foundation podcast, Avi Loeb actually said, if we are visited by a technological object like 3I Atlas, it could either visit us or release some mini probes, as you mentioned earlier, that arrive to Earth and appear as UAP, exactly what I was saying a couple of weeks ago.
That's exactly right. Now, that's unidentified aerial phenomena, the government's updated term for UFOs.
Yes.
You don't know.
Florida Congresswoman Ana Paula Luna, who chairs the House Declassification Task Force, agrees that we should take this seriously. She's pushing NASA to monitor Atlas, saying we need to be transparent with the public if something unusual happens.
In fact, she's writing to NASA to have Juno repositioned for a flyby that she says will raise it, and she'll raise it up in the upcoming UAP hearings.
Yep, social media is also buzzing. Some X posts highlight the Loeb scale. It's something that Avi Loeb came up with, right? Yeah. He put the 3i Atlas at a 4 to 6 out of 10. So more than half, obviously, meaning it could be technological.
Now, others, including ESA and NASA, are keeping it calm, reminding everyone that, hey, folks, it's still classified as a comet. NASA called it the fastest one we've ever recorded, moving at 130,000 miles an hour. ESA stressed it's only the third interstellar object we've ever seen. Just last week, NASA said, quote, it looks like a comet. It does comet things, okay? It's very, very strongly resembles in just about every way the comets that we know.
Now, one of the most viral posts came from the New York Post. A Manhattan-sized comet could release many probes that arrive on Earth. Click-worthy headline for sure, right? But we got that image you showed earlier.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
You sent me that. I was out last week. Talk more about that in a second. But you showed me that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this isn't.
It looks scary. Yeah.
But it could be AI. Could be AI enhanced. That one right there. Now, some of you probably the so-called leaked James Webb photo online. Here's the truth. There was no leak. NASA and ESA publicists released Webb's chemical maps in late August.
These maps clearly showed that the CO2 dominance. So if you see secret JWST pictures floating around on YouTube or Reddit, it's not real, all right? So it's just clickbait. The real data is on the NASA's website.
Now, look, the smart money says this is a weird CO2-heavy comet from another solar system, natural, not alien.
But Loeb's point is simple. We don't know until we measure, so why not use the spacecraft we already have, the Mars Recon Orbiter Juno, to double check it?
Either we confirm it's a comet or we find something brand new.
Basically, here's where we stand, all right? The 3i Atlas is unique, without a doubt. It got scientists excited, it got social media buzzing, and now lawmakers are getting involved.
Whether it's just another comet or something more exotic, it's a reminder we live in a busy, mysterious universe, and we'll be right here keeping you posted about all the new findings on the Road Beyond podcast.
All right, now for something different. Last week, Todd took a little trip. That's not the news. Where you went is?
I went to Key West, Florida, of course, and Key West is known for a number of things, a lot of history.
Of course.
But one of the most fascinating things about Key West is a little doll that's in a museum, a naval museum, and he's called Robert the Doll. You're not familiar with his work? There's a look at Robert right now. Now, Robert was actually gifted to a young man back in the early 1900s. Follow me on this.
I am.
His name's Robert Eugene. He goes by Gene. He named the doll Robert the Doll. They dressed him like a little sailor.
This doll was actually
wore a
given
sailor
by
outfit.
a Bahamian young lady to Robert.
And so he lived with this doll all of his life. Then the dude passes away in the early 70s, gives it to another family, and I guess all hell starts breaking loose. And the doll itself is said to be possessed. In fact, the doll has some very peculiar things. Take a listen here.
Legends of Robert the Doll say that this doll was actually given by a Bahamian young lady to Robert as part of a curse. That would bring on bad luck. Other legends say that the doll's face actually changes expression. Amazing.
Okay, so you're asking yourself, why is this doll so popular? What's the story? Why is it paranormal? Well, here's the deal. Supposedly, if you disrespect the doll, you're supposed to show respect, bad things happen to you and yours.
Really?
Oh, yeah. To the fact that I talked with the caretaker of the doll in the museum. He played me a number of recordings of things he got dealing with Robert the Doll.
Really?
It was pretty darn good. I recorded a lot of that. I did a full report, and we're going to have the whole full report on next week's show. But the main thing, I posted in social media about this after.
Right.
A lot of people know about this doll, and everybody kept asking me did you ask the doll permission to take his picture?
Did you?
No, because nobody told me that.
Okay.
Then they tell me after the fact.
Can the bad juju that will befall you rub off on me because
Possibly so.
Great. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
you're hosting
just
the
what
show,
I need.
bro.
Only thing I'm thinking is, A, why are dolls so creepy? And B, should we get Robert and Annabelle together and have a little tea party?
See, this is what they talk about. Sparks the curse.
Oh, so
talk
don't
like
do it.
that. Okay. They say it's a real deal. In fact, the guy posts on Facebook. The caretaker will post on Facebook daily. He gets letters from people who visited the doll, and they send letters in apologizing. Please read this apology to Robert the doll.
Really?
It's because bad things have happened to me and my
Okay.
family. So a lot of cool stuff. Did something happen in the museum? Yes, it did to me.
Really?
It was incredible, and I'll tell you all about next week.
Okay.
Very strange, and I've got it all in video.
I cannot wait. So that's going to be next week. Stick around. We've got more coming up right after this.
I'm learning healthcare management while providing patient care.
I came back to grow my skills, even after I graduated.
And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. I'm Todd Duplantis along with Doug O'Brien. We're going to keep the aerial sky video going for you. Let's talk about something showing up on weather radar across the country that has some people scratching their heads while some are calling it sky donuts.
I just love that term. If you haven't seen them, picture this: a giant ring-shaped echoes on Doppler radar. You know, when you see the weather and they show you the radar, it is perfect little rings that you see, sometimes 50 to 100 miles wide. They're popping up out of nowhere and then they just simply fade away. Screenshots of these have gone viral, and of course, the theories started flying.
Let's get to the
Fringe
thing you were
side
talking
says
about on
that
social
they're alien motherships. You can see them right there, right? Big circular crafts with cloaking tech that only radar can catch. Some even claim the hole in the middle is a tractor beam or an opening where smaller UFOs fly in and out.
Sounds crazy, right? So let's get to the real science. We asked a couple of meteorologists what's happening. One of them, National Weather Service meteorologist Justin Lane, explained the most common thing is these radar donuts are caused by birds taking off in huge flocks at sunrise when thousands of starlings, blackbirds, or even bats take off all at once. Radar picks them up just like it would raindrops. I don't know about that.
He said that radar doesn't know the difference between a raindrop, a goose, or a mosquito. It just sends out a pulse and it gets a return signal and then it maps it. So when those birds spread out in a circular form, like from their roost, it shows up as a giant ring. Simple.
The technical term meteorologists use is a roost ring. Very common thing. They've been documented for decades, especially in the Midwest and the South. And around dawn, you'll see often those rings bloom on the radar, and then once the birds spread out, well, it vanishes.
And sometimes it's not birds at all, Todd. Just telling you, atmospheric scientists point to anomalous propagation when radar beams bend because of temperature inversions or humidity layers in the air. In other words, it's just nature, all right? So the bent signals can bounce back in a circular pattern, fooling the radar into painting what looks like a giant ring.
I'm not going with that. I'm still saying aliens in mine. But Dallas-based meteorologist Jennifer Dunn told reporters that these rings can also appear when radar stations pick up ground clutter. You know, ground clutter. Signals bouncing off buildings and terrain, even wind farms. She said, we've learned to recognize these signatures because they're not storms. They're biology or technology showing up in the atmosphere.
So, yes, well, some, like you, want to believe that these are aliens or a giant alien craft. First of all, it's over Kansas. Why is an alien going to be over Kansas, first of all? But the
Chiefs.
The professionals are clear. It's birds, bugs, or bats, and a quirk of the radar system.
But still, it's very understandable why people are getting fascinated over these things. The images look dramatic, perfect rings covering counties, and the name Sky Donuts kind of fuels the mystery, doesn't it?
But the science here is solid, whether it's flocks or, whether it's birds leaving their nests, the radar beams bending through moist air, the donut in the sky isn't extraterrestrial. Quit listening to Pink Floyd and enjoying yourself. It's Earth's own life and weather interacting with technology.
It's a reminder that radars are powerful enough to detect not just storms, but also the living world around us. And sometimes nature paints patterns that look almost too perfect.
So see, mystery solved. No aliens, or it's at least explained anyway. It's by science, not by spaceships.
Yeah, well, I'm going to still go with aliens. All right, on a previous episode, we talked about futuristic tech patents that companies have filed. One involves space. Now we have discovered that there are Chinese, imagine that, already have plans to build a gigantic solar-powered station in space. What can go wrong there?
Just think about that for a minute. A solar station in space. Picture a solar array floating over 22,000 miles above us, soaking up sunlight 24/7, then sending it down as energy. And if that sounds wild, well, it is, and it's exactly what China's aiming to make happen.
Didn't James Bond cover this in one of the movies?
Well, now it's happening in real life. It's something like that.
Moonraker.
Yeah.
That was it.
But look at this.
What's going on?
This is what they want to do.
Moonraker.
Look at that giant thing.
Totally looks like Moonraker. China has a multi-decade roadmap to make this happen. They want to launch a small test in orbit they want to do it by 2028, showing that they can transmit power via microwaves back to Earth, about 10 kilowatts just to start with.
Now, by 2030, they hope to have a 1 megawatt station up in geostationary orbit and at the same spot so that it keeps the satellites locked in one place, that kind of technology, right? So then by 2035, they want to scale it up to 10 megawatts.
Their long-term goal, they're looking to build a solar array just over a half-mile wide that will collect more data on us, more energy per year and our data than all the oil we extract from Earth.
That is one of the issues, what if it's not used just for energy, right? Space panels can soak up sunlight continuously with no clouds, no night, no atmosphere blocking energy. But that means solar collection is over 10 times more efficient than panels on the ground. So when you think about it, it really is a cool thing. But how are you going to get up there to check? If they wanted to do something nefarious, right, they could hide it up there.
Check on it?
Right, you can't just send the local, energy guy up there.
Plus, you beam energy down using microwaves or lasers directly to a ground station. No wires, nothing to land on, no daylight dependency. Sounds great.
This is being called China's Manhattan Project for Energy. Major national effort with rockets, infrastructure, and decades of engineering behind it.
They'll need some heavy liftoff rockets like the Long March 9, which is being developed to haul massive infrastructure into orbit. By 2050, the vision is to have a fully operational commercial solar power satellites in geostationary orbit. Amazing.
I don't know if this is going to make you feel any better or not, but China is not the only country working on this. Countries like Japan, India, the UK, yes, the US, and many others are all exploring space-based solar power too, because we're going to need it for AI. We need more energy. This could be the answer.
Well, that's what's using massive amounts of energy. I wasn't aware how much energy AI
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So every time you just think about it, using ChatGPT, gallon gas.
Yeah,
right away,
exactly.
Or more. Driven by rising energy demands and climate change, this tech could transform how we power Earth. But as the Financial Times points out, it also fits into China's broader strategy of collecting data on us. To dominate tech from AI to space exploration.
See, you're not far off, according to what they're saying. So you might be thinking, what issues could there be? We've already kind of expressed a few. There are hurdles that are massive. We're talking about 10,000 plus tons of hardware delivered via over 100 launches, plus building monster-sized structures in orbit. I mean, that's pretty daunting.
Then there's the cost, which is astronomical to build and launch. Safety, beaming high-energy microwaves back to Earth carries risks, you think? And then politics. Can't leave that out. Orbiting megastructures could also raise your geopolitical tensions on space security concerns. Obviously, no one here has seen Moonraker, have you? That didn't go well.
You know, so far we have never lost a person in space. It's always happened within the Earth's atmosphere.
The
right.
launches, yeah.
But if you're talking about a construction site in space, I mean, the chances of something going wrong are massive. So is this sci-fi or soon to be reality, which is the big question? A bold energy fix or a space race power play? And that's what I'm afraid it's going to become.
Yep.
We'll let you decide. And China's shooting for the stars and wants to send power down to Earth while they're at it, which would be fantastic if that's all it is. Stay tuned as the Road Beyond podcast. We're going to keep tracking what might be the energy breakthrough of the century or a chance to steal your data.
You know, I keep thinking back to, have we not learned to, remember Skylab?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Remember what happened with Skylab
It crashed
famously in 1980?
Are you talking about when it crashed back
When it
down?
came back to Earth. I was a young wee lad at that time,
Same.
like 14 years old, flying back from the U.S. to, flying back from France to the U.S. While Skylab was falling, just happened to be the same day, they actually grounded our plane
Really?
in Canada. They did, yeah.
Wow.
Because they just weren't sure at that time the exact location. Now they
Yep.
can pretty much pinpoint it.
Yeah.
A dot in the ocean as to where these things are going to fall down. But back then, in those days, they didn't have the technology. They knew it was going to come across a certain pattern.
Yeah.
But our flights could have been in that pattern. They weren't quite sure, so they grounded us for about 6
And
hours.
by the way, for those of you that are too young to remember Skylab, it crashed into the ocean because the Earth is 2/3 water. So
Right. Not hard to miss the ocean.
luckily, it didn't harm anybody. So.
No, but it was talked about, it seemed like, for at least months before.
Oh, I remember vividly. Yeah, because I was in high school at the
Yeah.
time, and we talked about it constantly because they, like you said, they knew it was coming down.
Yeah.
They just didn't know where or exactly when.
So my thought is on this, what goes up eventually has to come down.
Thank
So
you, Billy
these-
Preston. Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Good reference.
Thank you.
That's why he works at a radio station.
That's right.
folks. Houston Deagle right here with us on nightly, right?
7
o'clock?
7 to midnight.
7 to midnight. There you go. Little plug there. Anyway, I just totally lost track of what I was saying. No, I said what goes up is going to have to come down.
Right.
And when this thing is obsolete, or what if they just drop pieces of it? Are we going to let it float around in space? Somebody's going to decide to shoot that down, and then eventually it could enter back in our atmosphere.
Well, think back. There was a movie. It was a terrible movie.
Moonraker?
No. There's more recent with Gerard Butler. It was called Geostorm.
Oh, yeah.
And it's where they're trying to control the weather patterns, and somebody did a little sabotage, and then it started. All the pieces came crashing down, but that same thing. But you are right. The whole espionage behind it, the
whole
sabotage that could
geopolitics
happen
behind this
absolutely
really worries me the most.
But then if you start working together, people start talking about one world government, and then you're doomed. So it's like, where do we go? What do we
Where
do?
are we going to go? One way or another, we'll be hearing more about this as we
Absolutely.
move on. We've got our favorite segment coming up.
Yes, bare necessities, and this one will not disappoint. Up right after this.
I'm not just studying AI, I'm designing solutions to make the world a better place for us all.
I didn't just study buildings. I connected them with tech to make them smarter.
And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online.
Kids will be kids, which just goes to say kids will be curious. They get into everything. If there's a loaded firearm in the house, they could get their hands on that too. Keeping firearms locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition in a place inaccessible to kids can help keep your loved ones safe from family fire. Safe gun storage saves lives.
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. I'm Todd Duplantis with
Doug O'Brien from Houston's Eagle, and it is time for Bare Necessities. This one's fun.
Yeah, I've seen this. It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Nothing better than watching a rat soaping up and taking a little bath. This is amazing, and this was created before AI.
And here's the creepy part for me, and this is why I was fascinated with it. He looks so human. His movements.
He's got. I know people that don't bathe like that regularly.
Look at him. He's getting under the arm. He's getting, you got to get everywhere.
He's got it.
And then the head.
Obviously enjoy it.
He is very smooth, and that's not his first time doing it. But how does a rat learn to do that? Who's teaching them?
I don't know.
What is going on?
People teaching rats how to lather up, please do.
I just have more questions than answers from watching that.
Yeah. But that video has been out there for at least 10 years.
Is it really that old?
It's been out there for quite some time.
It just came across my feed. It came across my feed, and it just made me laugh, as did this next one, too.
It involves a bird, a golf ball, and, well, you can tell what happens next. Bird bouncing, and this is a pretty big bird.
This bird has figured out that the ball will bounce, and it gives him extreme joy. Yes.
He's got a lot going on with that, yeah.
He loves it, and he goes and gets it and does it again. It's
you know why? He
amazing.
Thinks it's an egg, and he's trying to crack it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they don't usually crack their own eggs.
Well, who's saying he thinks it's his egg? Who's saying he wants to scare it?
Well, that's possible. I think it's just the sheer enjoyment of entertaining yourself. No, I have no idea. I just saw it.
That's what bothers me a lot of times. You see these videos. Give us a timestamp. Give us a date. A lot of them now, they'll include where they were shot, roughly the month.
Yeah, I hate it. Like, you'll get a little news headline, or you'll see something interesting, and you think, "Oh my gosh, this is fascinating," and then it's from 2014.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm with you.
Like the bathing rat.
Right. that one's good. Anytime.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, we're running out of time for the show, but next week's show, Robert the doll, we're going back to Key West, Florida. I got a full report coming up with some crazy stuff.
And you've got proof of the paranormal with this doll, correct?
I do. I have video recordings.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm Doug O'Brien.
I'm Todd Duplantis. We'll see you next week on the Road Beyond podcast.
See you.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.